Have you ever looked up at a raging storm and wondered if it was just Mother Nature blowing off steam or something more calculated? The line between natural disaster and deliberate manipulation is becoming increasingly blurred. For centuries, humanity has dreamt of controlling the skies, of bending the elements to our will. We've performed ancient rituals, offered sacrifices to the gods, and even tried to reason with the clouds themselves. But what was once the stuff of myths and legends is rapidly evolving into a very real and potentially terrifying possibility. Today, whispers of weather wars and climatic warfare are swirling through the corridors of power, sparking heated debates and fueling countless conspiracy theories. Governments and military minds around the world are investing heavily in technologies that could give them a decisive edge on a new kind of battlefield, one where storms become weapons and droughts become strategic maneuvers. But is this just paranoia run wild, or is there something more to these unsettling possibilities? Join us as we delve into the fascinating and often unsettling world of weather manipulation. Our fascination with controlling the weather is deeply rooted in human history. For as long as we've tilled the soil and relied on the predictable rhythms of nature, we've sought ways to appease the heavens and ensure favorable conditions for our crops and communities. Ancient civilizations developed elaborate rituals and ceremonies designed to summon the rain, ward off storms, and appease the gods they believed held sway over the elements. From the rain dances of Native American tribes to the intricate water temples of ancient Mesopotamia, humanity has always sought to influence the forces that shape our world. As science and technology advanced, so too did our methods for manipulating the weather. Early attempts at cloud seeding, a process that involves dispersing substances into the air to promote the formation of precipitation, date back to the 19th century. While these early experiments were crude and largely ineffective, they laid the groundwork for more sophisticated techniques that would emerge in the decades to come. Today, with the advent of powerful computers, advanced radar systems, and a growing understanding of atmospheric science, the dream of controlling the weather is no longer a distant fantasy. But as we stand on the precipice of a new era of weather modification, we must ask ourselves, are we ready for the consequences of wielding such power? Deep in the heart of Alaska, shrouded in mystery and often blamed for everything from freak weather patterns to global pandemics, lies HAARP, the High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. This enigmatic facility, with its sprawling array of towering antennas stretching towards the heavens, has become a lightning rod for conspiracy theorists and armchair scientists alike. Officially, HAARP is a research project designed to study the ionosphere, a dynamic region of the Earth's upper atmosphere that plays a crucial role in radio communications. By beaming high-frequency radio waves into the ionosphere, scientists can temporarily excite its particles, creating faint, shimmering auroras and studying the complex interactions that take place high above our heads. However, for those who subscribe to more outlandish theories, HAARP is no mere scientific endeavor. It's a weapon of unimaginable power, capable of altering weather patterns, triggering earthquakes, and even controlling human minds. These claims, often circulated through sensationalized documentaries and internet forums, paint a picture of a rogue government agency using HAARP to wreak havoc on an unsuspecting world. So, what's the truth about HAARP? Is it a harmless research facility, or is it a clandestine weapon capable of unleashing meteorological mayhem at the push of a button? To understand the truth about HAARP, it's important to separate the science from the speculation. While HAARP's capabilities are undoubtedly impressive, they're a far cry from the godlike powers attributed to it by conspiracy theorists. The facility's radio waves, while powerful, are simply not strong enough to influence weather patterns or trigger seismic events thousands of miles away. Think of it this way. HAARP is like a flashlight beam aimed at the sky. It can illuminate a small portion of the ionosphere. allowing scientists to study its properties, but it can't control the weather any more than your flashlight can summon a thunderstorm. The forces at play in the Earth's atmosphere are simply too vast and complex to be manipulated by a single facility, no matter how sophisticated. That said, HAARP's research does have implications for our understanding of weather and climate. By studying the ionosphere, scientists can gain a better understanding of how solar flares and other space weather events can impact our planet. This knowledge is crucial for developing early warning systems for potentially disruptive events that could damage satellites, disrupt power grids, and pose risks to astronauts. So, while HAARP may not be the doomsday device depicted in conspiracy theories, it's still a powerful tool that can advance our understanding of the complex and interconnected systems that govern our planet. And as with any powerful tool, it's important to use it responsibly and ethically, always mindful of the potential consequences of our actions. The idea of manipulating the weather raises ethical and environmental concerns. A tweak to the atmosphere could have unforeseen and catastrophic consequences. Imagine a country using cloud seeding to combat drought. This might disrupt weather patterns, depriving neighbouring regions of rainfall. Such actions could lead to accusations of rain theft and conflicts over resources. Large-scale weather modification could have unpredictable impacts on ecosystems. Altering rainfall patterns could harm wildlife and lead to species extinction. Unintended consequences could ripple through the biosphere. We must proceed with caution, recognizing the forces we are tampering with. Technological advancement must respect the balance of nature. Let's face it, rain dances are so last century. In this age of drones and designer genes, we like our weather modification a tad more high-tech. Enter cloud seeding, a technique that sounds like it belongs in a comic book, but has actually been around for decades. The basic idea is simple. Take a shy cloud, sprinkle in some particles, and boom, you've got rain. But like any magic trick, there's more to it than meets the eye. Cloud seeding coaxes existing clouds to release their moisture. It's like giving a hesitant raindrop a gentle nudge. But it's not without controversies and ethical questions. Who decides when and where to make it rain? And what about the ecosystems and communities downwind? Despite uncertainties and ethical dilemmas, cloud seeding is seen as a potential solution to water challenges. In drought-stricken regions, it could replenish reservoirs and quench crops. Some countries use it to mitigate hailstorms, turning icy pellets into rain. And then there's the whimsical use for keeping things dry. Remember the sunny Beijing Olympics in 2008? China reportedly used cloud seeding to ensure clear skies for the opening ceremony. But cloud seeding comes with risks and unintended consequences. Chemicals could accumulate, contaminating water and harming wildlife. Experiments could trigger floods or prevent needed rain. The law of unintended consequences often rears its head. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of cloud seeding is its potential for geopolitical mischief. Imagine a world where nations don't just compete for territory and resources, but also for control of the skies above, where a strategically timed drought could cripple an enemy's economy, or a well-placed downpour could wash away their defences. While such scenarios might sound like something out of a James Bond film, the reality is that the lines between weather modification and weather warfare are blurry at best. History is rife with examples of nations attempting to weaponize the weather, from the US military's Operation Popeye during the Vietnam War, which aimed to flood enemy supply routes by extending the monsoon season, to more recent accusations of countries using cloud seeding to manipulate rainfall patterns to their advantage. The problem is that proving intent when it comes to weather manipulation is incredibly difficult. Was that drought a natural occurrence, or was it a carefully orchestrated attack? Without clear evidence, accusations of weather warfare can quickly devolve into a blame game, fueling mistrust and potentially sparking conflict. As we develop increasingly sophisticated technologies to tickle the sky, it's crucial that we establish clear international norms and regulations governing their use. Otherwise, we risk stumbling into a future where the skies above become just another battleground, and the rain falls not on the just and the unjust alike, but on the victors and the vanquished. The notion of weather as a weapon isn't just science fiction or conspiracy. It's a fear that has haunted battlefields and diplomatic chambers for decades. Imagine a nation unleashing a hurricane or drought upon its enemies. Military strategists have long recognized weather's influence on conflicts. From D-Day fog to Napoleon's winter, weather has shaped history. What if we could bend nature's forces to our will? The potential applications of weather warfare are diverse and chilling. The notion of weather warfare isn't just theoretical, it's a tactic already deployed with devastating consequences. During the Vietnam War, the US launched Operation Popeye to make it rain, its mission to make it rain a lot. From 1967 to 1972, US aircraft engaged in cloud seeding over Vietnam, Laos and Cambodia. The goal was to disrupt enemy supply lines along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. By seeding clouds with silver iodide, they aimed to increase rainfall and extend the monsoon season. Operation Popeye had a significant impact on the battlefield. It raised serious ethical and geopolitical concerns. The revelation sparked international outrage and led to the Environmental Modification Convention in 1977. The spectre of weather warfare continues to loom large. Section 3, The Future of War, a Forecast of Storms. As technology advances at an ever-accelerating pace, the potential for weather warfare is only going to grow. Imagine a world where satellites equipped with sophisticated sensors can monitor weather patterns with pinpoint accuracy, feeding real-time data into powerful computer models that can predict and potentially manipulate the behavior of the atmosphere. In this future, weather warfare might involve not just crude attempts at cloud seeding, but the subtle and precise manipulation of atmospheric conditions. We're talking about steering hurricanes, triggering flash floods, or even creating localized droughts, all with the push of a button. It's a chilling thought, but one that we can no longer afford to ignore. The implications of such technology falling into the wrong hands are staggering. Imagine a rogue state or a terrorist organization wielding the power to unleash catastrophic weather events upon their enemies. Cities could be crippled by floods, economies devastated by droughts, and entire populations held hostage by the whims of a weaponized sky. The potential for such scenarios to escalate global tensions and spark widespread conflict is undeniable. As the lines between natural disasters and deliberate acts of aggression become increasingly blurred, the world could be plunged into a new era of uncertainty and fear, where the very air we breathe becomes a potential weapon. The challenge we face is not just technological, but also ethical and geopolitical. Who gets to control the weather? Who decides when and where to make it rain or shine or blow with hurricane force? These are not questions with easy answers, but they are questions we must confront head-on as we grapple with the implications of weather warfare. The international community must work together to establish clear norms and regulations governing the development and use of weather modification technologies. We need to strengthen existing treaties like NMODI and create new mechanisms for transparency, verification and accountability. But perhaps the most important challenge lies in fostering a sense of global responsibility and shared stewardship for our planet. We must move beyond the narrow pursuit of national interests and recognize that the atmosphere is a global commons belonging to all of humanity. The future of warfare may indeed be fought on a meteorological battleground, but the outcome of that conflict will depend not just on our technological prowess, but on our wisdom, our compassion, and our unwavering commitment to building a more peaceful and sustainable future for all. The power to control the weather is a dangerous one, but it is a power that ultimately rests in our hands. A whirlwind tour through weather manipulation, from ancient rain dances to high-tech cloud seeding, with conspiracy theories and geopolitical anxieties. We've explored the science, the speculation, and the potential to reshape our world, for better or worse. The more we learn, the more questions arise. Is HAARP a harmless research facility or a clandestine weapon? Can cloud seeding quench a parched planet or spark water wars? Is weather warfare science fiction or a chilling reality? The truth is nuanced. Weather modification is complex and evolving, with unpredictable consequences. We must proceed with caution and humility, aware of our interconnectedness. The weather affects us all, and we must learn to live with it, and perhaps influence it for the benefit of humanity. The unsettling part of weather manipulation isn't the technology, but what it reveals about us. Our eagerness to control nature speaks volumes about our relationship with it, a mix of hubris and fear. For millennia, we've looked to the skies with awe and apprehension, praying for rain, cursing storms. Weather shapes our world, reminding us of our vulnerability. We believed we could not only predict the weather, but master it, transform it from a force to a tool. In our quest for control, we risk losing sight of our interconnectedness with nature, appreciate the power and unpredictability of the weather. True wisdom lies in living in harmony with the skies. As we ponder the unsettling possibilities of weather wars and manufactured meteorological mayhem, it's crucial to remember that for countless people around the world, the devastating impacts of extreme weather are not a hypothetical threat, but a stark reality. Hurricane Helene, a stark reminder of nature's raw power, has left a trail of destruction in its wake, upending lives and communities. While we debate the ethics of controlling the skies, let's not forget the very real human cost of these events. Families are struggling to rebuild their homes and their lives, often with little more than the clothes on their backs and the kindness of strangers to see them through. If the unsettling possibilities of weather manipulation have stirred something within you, if the stories of those impacted have moved you, we urge you to channel that energy into action. Even the smallest act of kindness can make a world of difference. Consider donating to reputable relief organizations like the Red Cross, or seek out local charities working tirelessly on the ground to provide food, shelter and support to those in need. In the face of such overwhelming challenges, it's easy to feel powerless, but together we can be a force for good, offering hope and assistance to those who need it most. Let's remember that the true measure of a society is not its ability to control the weather, but its compassion in the face of suffering.